Vision Sunday is about celebrating the goodness of the Lord.
Vision Sunday is all about life-changing stories as a ministry of Pefa Church South B.
Tunasherehekea miaka 25 ya mchungaji wetu Bishop Samuel Munai, huduma yake ambayo amefanya mahali hapa na kwingineo. Kazi ya mtumishi wetu Bishop Samuel Munai imeguza na imeweza kutouch community kwa undani sana.
Bishop has been called, not just by the fact that he wants to lead, but he is a leader by nature. And another character I've really admired from him is one of the leaders who will allow you to make mistakes as you grow. So to me, he has totally nurtured me.
The ministry of Bishop Samuel Munai has made an impact both to the young people, both the married men, the married women, and we've seen a great impact. And we can for sure stand and celebrate the Lord for His doing.
I came to South B in the year 1998, coming from a church in Anderson Hall, where I was a pastor as a young man, passionately in love with Jesus, to see souls coming to Christ. And later in the same year, I got married to Margaret in November of the same year. The church was a small church in the middle. It was about 30 by 70 and some benches inside there. And by the grace of God, 25 years, we are looking back and look at what the Lord has done. Ebenezer, that far the Lord has taken us. For the last 25 years, friends, we've gone through lots of challenges. I would tell you lots of challenges. Sometimes I felt like giving up. Sometimes I felt like it is not worth doing it. The first challenge was I would come to church, but going home, there was no fare to go home.
We were very, very down. We didn't have enough money, though I was working, but I think the needs were too much. And so I remember we used to walk long distances so that we can save that coin. Long distances when we were coming to the church. My husband could carry the twins, and I carried the bag.
We have an estate right on our right side and on our left side. And so the estate on the right side, on the left side actually, on my hand right now, on the left side, they thought that the church is not supposed to be there. And they thought the church makes noise. And so there was constant objection to prayer, objection to worship, objection to us having overnight meetings, having revival meetings.
Na wakati ule tukiwa katika ujenzi, maana tulikuwa tunafanya hali ya alambi ama mijengo ya fundraising, akaalika watu wa estate, kwa sababu walikuwa nasema sisi ni watu ambaye tuna wazungu wanatuma pesa ndio tunafanya mambo nazo. Na wakatuma mtu mmoja wao akakuja hapa siku ya fundraiser ili akuje kuona wazungu wale ni donors. Lakini nakwambia Mungu ni wa ajabu, kwa sababu mchango ulipofika hata youth vijana walikuwa natoa pesa zaidi ya zile ambazo zilikuwa zinatumano na estate.
I remember one time we wanted to buy a microphone, and the microphone was costing 1,500. So I came to church excited. We had almost about 100 people in church, and so we wanted to buy this microphone that was costing 1,500. And friends, that is in 2000. I was so discouraged that these members who have now reached about 100 were not able to buy a microphone worth 1,500 shillings. Memories that will never be erased in my mind is we were a small congregation, but a people who passionately loved God. Oh, we loved God. You would not know our status. You would not know which tribe. You would not know what kind of work. When we gathered together, oh my.
Church of South B is full of love, a church that is very much united. They care for one another. And because of that, because of being united and praying together and so much committed, the Lord has lifted them up from one another.
Just allow me to say, we were united. Crusades, church, revival, prayer. Things were really happening and there was no barrier. If I begin talking about life-changing stories, I may not finish, because that has been one of my greatest inspiration. My heart, my passion is to reach out to the poor, is to touch the poor and inspire them and lift them so that they are able to come out of that life and begin to prosper. Look at people like Michael Otinda, who was living in the slum. One time I speak about planting a seed, and he planted a seed, and today Michael is living in the US. And many of our members, the Lord has just blessed them. And that is the inspiration that keeps me preaching, that keeps me going out. Oh, friends, one thing I'll tell you, we will continue to touch the poor. We will continue to minister to the poor. That is our heart. That is our passion. So that when they know Christ, they are transformed and they become great men and women in society. In our church, we believe that there is no people who are bigger and others are smaller. When we come in the church, we uphold servanthood. We talk about the water, the basin, and the towel. We have to forget about our titles. We have to forget about our positions. We have to forget about, I am so and so and so, carry my Bible, carry my do. No. We all come together as children of God. All that I see today, my mind, I'm like dreaming. I never thought that this would ever happen. But you know what? God is not a respecter of man. The inspiration behind giving free water is we looked at the people who are coming to our church. A majority of them, they come from the slum. And in the slum, water and sanitation is a real challenge. And water, even to now as I speak, it was being sold. So when I came into connection with my friend, Pastor David Hyde from one church, we asked ourselves, what can we do to be able to provide free water to as many people as we can? And so looking at the situation and looking at people having to buy water, a gallon of water, and some of them are not working, some of them don't have an income. So the inspiration came that we can bring living water that Jesus brings when people come to draw water. They do not only just draw water, but they come into contact with Christ. So water, we are not just giving out water. It is an instrument that we are using for evangelism.
Na nitashukuru sana, nitashukuru juu ya chakula, juu wakati huu tuna shida ya chakula.
During COVID time, friends, you would remember, this is something that we have never experienced before, and everything just collapsed. We had no idea of what a mask was. We had no idea of what sanitizing was. We had no idea what social distance was. We had no idea of these things. And so immediately jobs were closed. Immediately people were not able to do things that they normally do. And so having all this happening at the same time, my heart went to the people who do not have an income, people who depend on a day-to-day job where they are paid less than $1. My heart went there because now everything has closed. There is no transportation. There are no jobs. Everybody has been asked to quarantine. For the first time, we heard the word quarantine. Stay at home. And so inside me, I thought, now things are happening the way they're happening. How do we become a blessing as a church? And so we came up with an initiative, Feed a Family. Feed a Family. And so we were able to feed to as many. We asked the people who are more blessed in our church to bring food, to give money and bring it in church. And we continue to make those appeals. And people brought food. And I want to say thank you for those who heed to my prayer. And we were able to feed during COVID time. We fed over 500 families. Feed a Family is here to stay. We want to feed as many. We want to support as many. We want to be outgoing. We've just come out of drought. And you know, as a church, I made appeals. We take food to Masailand. I made appeal. We take food to Kitui. I have made those appeals. Jazaroli, so that we can feed those who are less privileged in our community. ST project again, me and my friend, Pastor David Hyde, looking at the slum, and after he had visited us and looking at how people live in the slum and his heart going out to the girl child, we looked and said, now, there are these girls, sometimes they don't go to school because of their menstrual period.
And when they come, we give them lessons on self-esteem. We teach them about reproductive health. We counsel them. We share with them. Some of them, they have very difficult problems. They share with us, and we are able to encourage them and to give them the solutions. So after that, we give them a packet of sanitary towel. We share with them some snacks. And then from there, we release them to go home. And we have seen God helps girls.
This is another great project, Dorcas, deriving it from the book of Acts about Dorcas, Tabitha. And this project came about when Pastor Susan Hyde called me from the UK, and they had this member who had been a member of their church, and she had passed on, and she had put a will that she would want to support some, because she was a tailor, she was doing that in the UK, and she wanted to support. And so we agreed that we begin something like that, looking at our girls, some of them who are single moms, some of them who have dropped out of school because they are not able to go to Form 1, some of them who are just housewives, some of them who are actually orphaned. And so we thought of bringing 10 of them together, and we give them a free training in dressmaking, tailoring and dressmaking. And so they're able to come, and we give them a free training for 6 months. They don't pay anything. They just come, they register, but they have to be in that category I've mentioned. They are either they have dropped out from school, they are single moms, they are housewives, they are orphans, and maybe, yes, they're not well off in the society. And so we give them this training for 6 months for free. And on graduation day, again, partnering with Trinity Life Church, now one church, and us, All Nations Gospel Church, Southby, we provide all the 10 girls a free tailoring machine, fabric, an iron box. We give them a full package so that when they graduate on the day of graduation, they're not just ready to go for employment, but they are ready to begin working. The church runs a school
that began in the late 90s, and currently we're having a total of 41 staffs, 26 teaching staff plus 15 non-teaching staff. And I joined this school when it was having a population of 200, and currently we're talking of more than 600 pupils. And bearing in mind, we have a branch called Hope Academy, and we have the main one here at South B Pefa Church. The school has been so important to the community in a way that we have been able to admit learners from our surrounding, and through that, many have managed to go to national schools. Currently, some are in universities, and even some have graduated. And through such, some have volunteered to come and even give back to the community by being volunteer teachers in our institution, which has been of great value to the school.
It is in this country, if you are not educated, you might, and of course, you know, unemployment is a big thing. And so through us having a school, we are able to empower and contribute. What the government should be doing, we are also contributing in our small way in our school projects. The Jephthah project, wow, it's our newest project. This one is targeting the boy child. And we want to thank God for Her Excellency, Pastor Dorcas Rikadi, the second lady in our country. God has given her a special burden for the boy child. And through her inspiration and me talking to her and having a close touch with Her Excellency Pastor Dorcas Rikadi, we felt that we needed to bring in the boy child and begin a kitchen here where we will prepare a meal.
The Jephthah project, we concentrate with people who have been neglected by the community, people who have been set aside, and people don't want to do anything with them. And what kind of people are these? These are the drunkards, people who spend most of their time in alcohol. And for the first time, when we went out there, they were so happy to realize that there is someone who can think about them.
This project we began this year. When we began with about 90. Second meeting, we had over 300. When you'd come to the church with all these drunkards seated here, there was a different anointing. And you know, when I do like this, there was a different anointing. But we thank God. Through this project, we are able to touch, we are able to minister, we are able to love the people that are often nobody wants to reach them.
The impact that it has brought out there is that now, currently, we have also from them, they are actually worshiping together with us here. They come in church and also in midweek services. And I am also glad to state here today that during these sessions, some of them give their lives to Jesus. And these are the ones that keep on coming to the church.
And I was so inspired when Her Excellency, the second lady, called me to go and preach at the graduation of those who had gone through a rehab. And so God, as I was preaching there, I preached from the book about Jephthah. And so I felt now this group can be called Jephthah. So we have the Jephthah project. The book Dwelling in the Presence of God from Psalms 91 verse 1, 2, and 3. That's where the whole concept comes from. It is when the children of Israel were to leave Egypt and go to the promised land. During the day it was very hot, during the night very cold, and the presence of God was going to carry them through in that. This year again, we are launching another book, The Gates.
Tumeweza kufungua makanisa kadhaa.
I remember the first church was planted at Hulu, though we gave it to other people, but through his leadership, I've seen our church planting different churches. Can mention some few. We have the Outering with Pastor Nicholas. I've seen Inako with Pastor Moses. I've seen Mulolongo with Pastor Jane. I've seen Kitengela with Pastor Munithia. Machinery with Pastor Macau.
We have seen God performing miracles and wonders. We have seen His faithfulness, His goodness and mercy, taking us from one glory to another as a church.
After 25 years, wow, what is the vision? Quickly, two things. Number one, evangelism, evangelism, evangelism. Number two, prayer, prayer, prayer. We want to be more on our knees. We want to pray. And so we are going to trust God. The 10 acres of land that we are buying, we have already bought. We want to put up a prayer center where everybody will be charged to go and pray. After prayer, evangelism. Prayer, evangelism. This world needs Christ more than ever before. Our slogan is this: huyu Mungu huyu, we wacha tu. Huyu Mungu huyu, we wacha tu.